Hey, hey, Kingdom Dream Chasers, welcome back. And oh my goodness, this is going to be my favorite episode of the Failing to Plan is Planning to Fail series. So I'm praying that it's going to be yours too. Now, here's what I know. Results Getting actual results from the goals that you set is not what you think it is. I think a lot of people think actually hitting your goals, getting results is like you have to have some level of experience, you have to have some superhuman willpower, willingness, all these things. No. You don't need any of those things. And I'm going to walk you through how I earned over 20 incentive trips when I was in the industry before I retired so that you can see there's actually a method that is successful, because you can have a plan and you can have motivation. But if you don't have a way to make sure you're working the plan, and I'm going to show you how to do that today, we're going to reverse engineer your goals. This is when someone said to me, Gail, how did you do it? How did you earn all of those incentive trips consistently over the years? And I really had to pull back and ask myself why. And here's how I did it: reverse engineering. And I'm going to walk you through exactly how to do that today on this episode. So, you ready? You want a pen and paper, or at the very least, you want to come back and listen to this again, because these steps truly can be the absolute game changer in your business. Now, I want to sorry if I'm on a laptop, and I hope that those notifications don't keep coming. All right. Real life and unedited podcasts. Okay. So, reverse engineering, what does that mean? All right, let's take an example of losing weight. So if you say, okay, in the next 6 months, January to the end of June, I want to lose 20 pounds. Reverse engineering looks like this. And there's a reason why I am first, before we talk about your business, I'm doing a weight example, because we all can relate to that. And so it's not going to feel uncomfortable or like a stretch. You're going to get it. So then when I move you into how it looks for your business, it's going to be easier for you to follow me. All right. So I want to lose 6 months, 20 pounds in the next 6 months by the end of June, January to June 30th. So that means that if I reverse engineer that goal, that means that is about monthly, that is about 3.5 pounds a month. That means weekly, my goal needs to be about a pound a week. All right. So I just reverse that down to the week. So daily, then, what are the tasks that I'm going to need to do to be most likely to at the end of the week when I weigh myself? Because I don't know about you, but I only weigh myself once a week when I'm working on a weight reduction plan, or I'm in a health plan. Otherwise, I don't weigh myself at all. But I digress. Okay. So once a week, if I'm going to weigh myself and check in to make sure I'm tracking to hit my goal, what is most likely what do I most likely need to do? Now, here's a very key point. I want you to pick maximum two things. I want you to only pick two things that you need to do on a daily basis that are going to be most likely that you will have lost 1 pound that week. So for me, the two things would be movement. I need to be moving, and we'll talk about that in a second. And the second thing would be um, food planning. So I need to be planning what I'm eating when, and I need to do that in a way that's not going to feel like a heavy burden to me. So those two things: food planning and moving my body. If I am doing those two things on a daily basis, it is highly likely I will have lost a pound by the end of the week, and I can track that. So at the end of the week, if something's off, I'll know what to fix. This is called reverse engineering the goal, because if you just say, you know what? Oh yeah, I want to lose 20 pounds in the next 6 months. And I'm just going to do this in a way that I'm just going to listen for the Holy Spirit, and I'm just going to let Him lead. So this is the deal: God does want you to listen to Him daily, hourly, minutely, but He also wants you to plan. He wants you to be obedient and disciplined, not in a way that feels like burden or shame or a critical spirit of a lack of freedom, but in a way that is, Lord, I'm going to put this plan before you. I want to work this plan with you. I want you to guide me. And I'm going to put the outcome in your hands, but I'm not going to put the daily activities that are my responsibility in your hands. because that's what I'm supposed to be doing. So if I use the wisdom that he's given me to work with him to create the goals and I reverse engineer those goals so I have a daily plan, now it becomes my responsibility to work that daily plan. So, what are some things that we can do? So, when we're going to transfer to business now. So, let's say your company has an incentive trip and that incentive trip is, by let's just say it's the end of so you have 6 months to earn the incentive trip. And let's say the goal is 6,000 in sales. That means you need to do 1,000 in sales a month. All right? So if I break that down, that means I need to do 250 in sales a week. So you just joined me, right, in this reverse engineering. So we went from the 6 months to the monthly to the weekly. So if my goal is to have 250 in sales a week, what are the two most likely activities that I need to do in order to hit that goal? Well, I believe after being in the industry for 3 decades, and yes, you guys know I'm retired now, but believe me, um, I'm I know that feeling of, okay, how do I do that? What are the two activities that I must do daily to be most likely to have 250 in sales at the end of the week? Okay. The two activities, number one, I need to be reaching more people. So whatever I need to have an activity that I do every day that is helping me to find more people, more women to be talking to about my products, um, my opportunity. So that's number one. How do I find what is the one thing I can do to find more people? The second thing is once I find those people, how do I move to a one on one conversation? Because you will be able to track if you have some of you will be able to have three conversations, one on one conversations. That can be via text, Zoom, um, Messenger, however that person that you're talking to wants to communicate with you, that's how you do it. So if she prefers Messenger, do that. If she prefers a Zoom call, do that. But how many of those one-on-one conversations that I have a week is going to determine how where my sales are. Because if I'm not talking to anybody, I should not be expecting to have sales at the end of the week. So, is that going to take 3 of those Zooms to actually happen? So I might need to schedule 4 or 5. So if I schedule 1 Zoom a week, that my goal is to have 1 Zoom a week, so I'm having a live conversation with someone to learn about them, ask them questions, and find out if what I have can benefit them, then I will very likely be hitting that 250 goal at the end of the week. Now, some of you might be like, girl, if I had 3 of those calls a week and I was doing that every week, I would be getting more and more efficient. I would be able to hit that 250 goal with 3 Zoom calls a week. So those are the two activities that now I might say, all right, well, Gail, I don't, I don't trust that I have enough knowledge about what to do and say on that Zoom call. So that's a training issue, right? That's a coaching issue. So you may need to find someone in your company who can coach you and train you around that, or you hire a coach outside of that, of your of your company. Second thing is, I don't know if I know who my niche is, where she is, where I need to be finding her on whatever platforms you're using, depending on your niche. If she's in the second half of life, then Facebook is the most likely place that you're going to find her. If she's a corporate gal, then LinkedIn is a very likely place you're going to find her. So you need to know who she is and where she's hanging out so that you're not wasting your time trying to grow the amount of women that you're talking to. So, two things. So we set the goal, which is at 6 months. We break it down monthly, we break it down weekly, and then we break it down to the two daily tasks. So here's the deal, you guys. Really, nothing else is more important than completing those two daily tasks in your business each day. And then you track them each month. I'm telling you, this reverse engineering is so powerful and it works. But remember, I promised you that I wouldn't just tell you how to reverse engineer because you can have a plan. You can have motivation for the plan. We talked about in episode 2. You can have make it bigger than you and you can reverse engineer it. But the biggest thing I want to leave you with is you've got to know what are the most likely obstacles that are going to come up against you, because we all know what they are based on our personal experience. So, for example, for me, when it comes to weight loss, what are the biggest obstacles that are going to come up against me moving? Remember how I told you I was going to move my body if I want to lose 20 pounds in 6 months? The two things were moving my body and food planning. So, what are the biggest obstacles and how do I avoid them? Well, the biggest obstacles for me is I don't do the food planning and I don't do the movement. So, how can I set myself up to win so that I am much more likely when those obstacles of discouragement, I don't want to do it, I'll do it later. What will I do? So, um, Sunday afternoon, before I go to bed on Sunday, I have to have made my meal plan out for the week. Meaning, do I have my grocery list ready? Am I going to have a green smoothie every morning? Looking ahead to the week, are we going to be eating out this week? Where are we most likely going to go? And what will I choose at that restaurant that will keep me within my meal plan that I want to do? Um, when I want something sweet, what will I reach for? Do I have that in my meal plan ready to go? When I'm feeling hungry, do I have a hard-boiled egg, a handful of almonds, uh, half a scoop of peanut butter? What are the things that I will reach for that will keep me within my plan? So for me, obstacles, I will crave something sweet, especially early on. Um, I will not want that. I will avoid the green smoothie. So I make that first thing in the morning. Finding an accountability partner, that's crucial for me, having an accountability partner. So what after you have created your plan, it's bigger than you reverse engineered it, what are those biggest obstacles and what will you do to help you overcome those obstacles? So I just listed some of those for you. Accountability partner, huge. So your call to action for this whole podcast series is go into the Kingdom Dream Chasers group and post a goal. Now, I'm going to pick a winner, and you're going to win a signed copy of my book, Master Your Morning and Change Everything. So, because I've never done this before, I will. There's a high likelihood that a lot of you are not going to do what I'm about to ask you to do. All right. So that means there's a very high likelihood that you can win if you do it. So you go into the Kingdom Dream Chasers Facebook group and you do a post and you share that you've been following the podcast and Gail challenged you to share your goal, whatever goal it's going to be. I don't care if it's business related, if it's weight related, it doesn't matter what it is, but you've shared your goal and you are reverse engineering it or whatever about this podcast series that helped you. And you do that, tag me when you do it. And from that group, I'm going to send a book. And so I promise you, it's going to be a very little group. So there's your call to action. And I pray that this has been such a blessing to you, this whole series. I encourage you to go through it again whenever you need to. Um, go through the goal setting process again. But as we're leaving, I want to remind you that as believers in business, God has given us the wisdom because the Holy Spirit's within us to do the work, create the plan, reverse engineer it. But now figure out the daily tasks, commit to those daily tasks, ask Him for His strength to give us the courage and strength to complete the daily task, but we lay the outcome at His feet. And whether or not I get to the 20 pounds, what I know, losing the 20 pounds, what I know is on the journey there, I will be with Him. I will be doing it with Him, and my body will be benefiting. If I hit the 20, that's fine. If I don't, one time I did this and I wanted to lose 15, I ended up losing 30. So we put the outcome at His feet and we focus on the reverse engineering till we get to the daily tasks and we make a commitment to those things. Find an accountability partner. And I just wish you so much blessing with this. So join the Kingdom Dream Chasers group, share in there your goal, and cannot wait to hear how you have been overcoming, how you have been using reverse engineering to really plan and really bless your business and those of the women you serve.